right, I think we're back in the room. So third one, we're talking about Mike Myers. We're saying yes, he's strongly influenced by Sellers. He's not so much of a chameleon figure, although he plays Scottish. For example, in Shrek, he does a Scottish accent in Shrek.
I'm Fat Bastard.
Yeah. So, but in as the kind of producer of the film, I think he was, that he very deliberately wants to make this film, both as a kind of tribute to his heroes, his kind of film character, comic heroes, but also it's part of the zeitgeist, the film zeitgeist, because Eddie Murphy's doing it, and that's become a kind of comic idea, current comic idea, in the same way as, Ghostbusters, The Heat, Bridesmaids, is that hot? Are people going to see it? Yes, they are, so let's make another one. Okay, and then I would come in with your survey then. Okay. Anything that's interesting, and then I would conclude. And your conclusion will be
for the whole thing, or just the survey?
No,
the whole essay.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that would take up 1,800 words?
Well, we can always swell it up a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's the structure of it. This is the history of these things going on from Roman times. Here's a bit about Charlie Chaplin. Here's a bit about Laurel and Hardy. Here's a clip. I'm going to focus on these three films. Here's a bit about Alec Guinness's career and what he was thought of as an actor at the time. Big theatre actor, but when he got into Ealing Studios, if you need to fill up, you can just say a bit about Ealing Studios. Already kind of famous for his transformations. Okay. Then you talk about the film in some detail and the meta joke of him playing multiple roles. Maybe talk about the success of the film, box office, something like that. The next film I'm going to focus on is Sellers, a bit about his career, how he's more of a comic. But in The Goon Show, which is the radio show, 8 different character voices. Yeah? I should think, at least. And The Goon Show, the comic idea of The Goon Show was that the performers, Sellers, Seacombe, Spike Milligan, all played all the characters. Yeah. Okay. So in a way, there was a transference into Dr. Strangelove, and then the stuff about Kubrick saying, I wanted to do this, and how we're saving money by doing it. Success of the film, box office. Don't know. Yeah. Some quotes from reviews of the film. Right. And then moving on to what we just talked about with the kind of Eddie Murphy context. Don't forget to talk about the improv stuff in Dr. Strangelove. Then talking about Mike Myers, and then in your conclusion, and then your survey, and then in your conclusion talking about, well, actually there's a clear comic line here from Roman theatre. You could mention Shakespeare if you want to say, well, characters playing multiple roles. And
would they though?
Sorry?
Would they in Shakespeare in multiple?
Yeah, so the Comedy of Errors, you have 2 sets of twins. So twins are a big thing, and Shakespeare sort of exploited the idea of 2 sets of twins. So he has 2 servants, different brothers, working for 2 different people. And then their twin brothers, who they don't know who they are, separate twin brothers turn up who look exactly like them. And the comedy of Errors is all based on mistaken identity and that kind of thing. So you could talk about the Romans, you could talk about Shakespeare, and then you talk about how well film took this on. And here I've followed a line all the way through.
All right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Good. Okay. And then really you don't have to do the slide thing. I would say you're going to do the item thing. Basically, you're writing a presentation, and when I show this slide, I show a clip from this, I show the poster for Dr. Strangelove.
Say I wanted to put in a YouTube clip, it'll be in my catalogue.
Yeah, exactly.
Just reference it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But you reference it just in square brackets, say item 3, item 5, whatever it might be. And then, you've got lots of stuff here anyway. Mm-hmm.
The last 3 were from the Reuben Library.
Good.
To 12, 11, and 10, I think.
This you need. Is this a book?
Yes.
All right. So, but you need to make
Or a magazine.
right. You need to be very clear about where it's come from. This needs to be a proper bibliography, giving sources and explaining this was published in this year. The writer was this. Quotation here or a quotation in your. Okay, you can't just give a. It needs to be a really formal piece of work, the bibliography, the catalogue, because the more formal it looks, the higher the marks we can give you. Yeah. If you just do a list, again, it's all about giving the impression that you're a serious, conscientious film student and you are capable of research, and your research must not only be thorough and imaginative, it's also going to be presented in the way that research is presented. So, well, look back at the examples I've sent you and have a look at the annotated catalogues there.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thanks very much.
Okay. Let's